no touching or feeling anything. If I promise that my hands don't move, you wanna tuck me in. No touching or feeling anything.
We were at our friend's birthday party, and he had just moved to LA. He's from Long Beach, so he had just moved to LA, and we were just talking like, hey, you know, what are you doing in LA? And he was like, nothing at all.
Nothing.
And I'd always, like, we were talking about going back to Santa Cruz. I'd always wanted to do something musically with Tyler if I could. And so we just, and I was doing nothing, just kind of writing songs and not playing. And we just talked about, you know, doing stuff together, and that was kind of it. We met, and then we went and hung out in my bedroom and went over, like, with like 2 guitars and went over a few ideas. And that was like the first, like, I guess, writing session or practice.
If I promise that my legs stand still, you wanna run your mouth. No touching or feeling anything.
We'll go through sometimes like 20 different versions of the song just to figure out what works. And sometimes we end up coming back to like one of the first 5 or whatever, just to realize that those were probably the strongest.
Yeah, and in the beginning, especially too, like trying to figure out what the band was, we didn't really know. I mean, we didn't know if it was gonna be guitars, bass, drums. At that point, I didn't even play drums. So at that point, it was a lot of like, does this song sound good as a piano song, or does it sound good being played on guitar? So at that point, there really was actually a lot of switching.
I think you started in my hand. Well, I'd stop, fall asleep at the door, committing a statutory for love. You let yourself picking up the morals, sucking up your concept.
I think it kind of felt like, you know, like the clubhouse and like kind of home base to be able to go there, and it's very relaxed, and it's with our friends, and Justin Smith, being a friend of ours, recording with him is, you know, was very laid back. And also there wasn't, you know, you're not in some studio where you're paying $2,000 a day and you're on a time crunch and you have to get shit done, and
Yeah.
it was very, you know, we can finish this next week if we want to. Also we were a brand new band, so we were really excited about touring. We just want to like go and get in the van. So we would come back a lot and take 2 weeks off and then come back and do another week. So it was kind of a weird experience, and I don't think an experience we'd like to do again.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of going in, you know, for 2 weeks to a month or whatever, and just busting the whole thing out. And it's kind of what they used to do. Like, bands used to do a record a year and tour, and then the next year do a record, tour. So you had a certain time frame where you had to get a record done, so they would lock themselves in for a month.
Yeah.
And that's just what I always dreamt about doing as a kid.
You want a piece of my mind.